give it a second here. Usually clips off the beginning. All right, well, it's November 2022. So this is the live stream. I see there's 6 people on. Appreciate you guys being here. I know it's a weird day, and some of the people who are usually here might not be able to catch it. Since Halloween weekend, have been staying in Columbus and working like Friday night and Saturday night and most of the day Sunday. That's why I had to push it to today and couldn't do Sunday, is just I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to make money. So I didn't have access to my computer, otherwise I would have posted on the community tab, but I can't do that from my phone or even from the mobile browser. It has to be like an actual physical computer. I couldn't let you guys know, but I'm glad that we have the people here, what we've got. One other thing before we get started, if you guys look at the chat, I'm trying a new thing. I didn't even know it was a new thing until I went to start this. But basically they're doing a new feature that's like Q&A, which is, I mean, essentially what we do here. You guys ask questions and I answer. We can probably keep it the same. I'm just trying out how this new feature works. So I'm going to explain that in a second. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just do the normal chat like usual, but if you guys want to try out that Q&A feature, that should show me on this end how it works. And I'll see if I want to continue doing it or if we just do things the normal way. Now you're probably going to hear a lot of footsteps, a lot of doors slamming, people screaming, dogs barking. The last 15 minutes or so have been pure chaos in this house. My old lady roommates, apparently, even though they've been home for 2 days, just realized that they lost their car keys and they're tearing the entire house apart trying to find them. Dogs going crazy, my old man roommates running all over the place, just trying to dig through everything, trying to find these keys. And so that's what's going on. You're gonna hear it all around. He keeps popping his head in here. They keep running around upstairs. It's upsetting the dog. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so it's been a really long time since we've had a live stream on a weekday. I did push it back 2 hours to 5 p.m. Eastern. That way, I know people might still be at work, but I don't want to go too late. But basically this way, it's more of a chance that somebody who is off on the weekend but works during the weeks will be able to catch a little bit of it. So I have no idea what kind of crowd we're going to get here. Honestly, we got 12 people on right now, and for the beginning of the video, before the notifications roll out, that's more than usual. So I don't know. I mean, maybe maybe Mondays are actually a better day than Sundays, but we'll see. So thank you for the like. So guys, I do just want to mention, along what I'm just saying, I know We Who Are About to Die Salute You said that he's going to be popping on his drive home from work, and probably as people get home and pop on, we'll have some more people on here. We're up to 15, which is a great sign. So as we start out, feel free, you guys, to type anything in the chat, and I will begin answering questions. Just a short update about me first. This month I have worked a lot. I know that needs to happen because, well, I need to make a living, but also there's a lot of stuff from the past few months that I've gotten behind on and I'm working on catching up on, but obviously I need to do that as soon as possible. So I've been working probably 60 to 80 hours a week every week. It's really difficult for me to put videos together and stuff because of that, but I'm hoping only maybe a month or so, maybe 2 months from now, I'll have everything caught up. And then I can work a little bit less and just get by month to month. Anyway, my point is, I basically have gotten to a point where I'm getting caught up slowly on getting all the past stuff paid up. And I'm able to make some, I guess, improvements to the way my life's set up right now. I can look at ways to make things a little more efficient. That's what I'm currently trying to do. Dog's barking. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyway, because of that, I have been working so much. During the week, I've been staying home in Athens as much as possible and just driving here. I don't make nearly as much money, but then I don't have the expense of driving to Columbus and back. I'll stay here and maybe make $50 for the night, rather than driving to Columbus where I could make $200, but I'm putting, 140 miles on the car minimum just in the commute and spending that money in gas. So I'm making less, but there's less expenses, fewer expenses. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing through the week. And then I've been going up on Friday evening, well, Friday sometime during the day, and then working late into the night Friday when it's really busy, and then working Saturday and working late into the night Saturday, and then working most of the day Sunday. And I'm making enough that I can catch up. And this is just temporary through the winter because TaskRabbit is a little bit slow right now. It's, from what I've been told, a normal slowdown for the winter time. So I'm still doing tasks here and there, but other than that, I'm doing a lot of gig work stuff, doing DoorDash and Uber Eats. And yeah, I'm able to catch up with the amount of money that I'm making from that. Ash's Internet Stories says hi. Hey there. Oh, there we go. Okay, took a minute to pop up in chat on my computer. So basically that's what's going on. I have just been working a ton. More long-term, I am looking at getting a room for rent in Columbus so I can stay there, stay later at night, stay more often. I'm not in a place where I can really afford an apartment, but I would like to have a place to stay in the area where I'm working so I can work more. That said, I think that's a little ways off even. I'm actually looking more so at renting a garage. I've been sleeping in my car at night when I stay the night there. And so like what I'm actually thinking about doing is renting a garage that I can pull my car into at night and can sleep in the car in the garage. That way, and Nikita, I'll get to your question in just a second. But basically, I think maybe in a couple months I'll be able to do that. And I'll be able to kind of curtail my eating out budget because obviously like when I'm an hour or more from home, I'm not able to eat at home. So I'm making good money when I'm working in Columbus, but I'm having to eat out a lot. If I were to say have that garage and I could get a mini fridge and then I've got a toaster oven and a microwave that I can bring in, I would be able to actually just make some frozen dinners there and save a lot of money that way. I've actually been showering at truck stops on the weekends, and that's great, but it's like $15 each time. What I'm actually going to do is I'm a little bit behind on my Planet Fitness membership. I'm going to go ahead and get that caught up, and then I'm just going to switch my membership from the Morgantown gym, which it still is, to one of the Columbus gyms, and then I'll save the $30 each weekend that I've been paying for showers, and that'll cover my monthly fee for Planet Fitness, and then I can just have unlimited showers. So that's how I'm going to stay in the garage. And obviously, like, hey, I should move into a garage. Like that's not a good idea, right? Like that's not a long-term good strategy, but it's an incremental step up from where I am right now. And it's not quite attainable yet, but it's almost attainable. So Nikita asks, did you apply for student loan cancellation? No, but hear me out on this. So I was going to, obviously, I want my loans to be forgiven. I've been working so much, I haven't taken the time to just sit down and do it. And I heard online that there was a certain date by which I needed to apply. It wasn't the deadline, but it was like a date before the deadline, and I couldn't remember what exactly the reason was for why I needed to do it by then, but I'd planned to. And then right before that date, there was that lawsuit, I think it was the Texas lawsuit, that they basically halted the whole thing. And we got that email from the Department of Education saying like, hey, we're pausing applications. I was like, all right. Then just last week, I got an email from the Department of Education saying that my application had been approved. I was confused because I didn't apply. It does say in there that like either my application has been approved or they have my information on file that's sufficient enough to approve me. So I'm wondering if they just automatically did it. I still need to sit down and figure out, because I think maybe they've reopened the website for you to apply. I'm so far behind on this, I don't know. But so to answer your question, no, I have not applied. Somehow I got approved even though I didn't apply. And I just need to take some time to look more into that. That might be a project for tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. Yeah, Nikita says, nice, looks like you got approved by automated process, which is really weird because I haven't filed my 2021 taxes. Which, that's a whole nother story. Here in about a month, I'm gonna file my 2021 taxes. The reason I haven't done it yet is, well, they were due in April. Look where my life was in April. I was just starting the whole court battle, the thing with the girl. I wasn't able to sleep because all the guys in the house stayed up 24 hours playing music, so I hadn't slept for months. That's where I was when taxes were supposed to be due, and I filed for an extension, which gave me to October, but really just the beginning of November, I finished writing the stuff for the lawsuit, so I've either been working or having to deal with legal stuff all year. So I was already gonna have to deal with penalties for not filing on time. Now I've missed the extension. I need to get into my storage unit and to the best of my ability reconstruct stuff from 2021. I'm always really organized with finances and with taxes, but the problem is I was very organized with everything for taxes for 2021 up until about August, which is where I moved all my stuff into storage, ready to move to North Carolina, and she didn't go. And then there was like the chaos of like, okay, half my stuff's in my mom's storage unit, half of it is in mine. And then it's like, okay, last second, actually we're moving to Morgantown. And then I go to Morgantown and then I move some of the stuff there, but then I lose that job and the apartment, and then some more stuff goes back to in storage. Basically, my tax papers are everywhere. And there is still one W-2 that I never got from an employer that I still need to contact and be like, hey, I know it's like 2 years later, but I don't have this. So I can't file until I get that anyway. So I guess what I'm saying is, in all of that, I'm really surprised that I got the automatic application and approval, because I don't think they actually have my previous year's information in order to approve it. I mean, I'm still gonna apply with my current information if the website's open and I can do that. But I have not heard anything. I mean, the last thing I heard was that they're just not doing it and that it's blocked. But with that said too, I never understood because there were all these other lawsuits that like, that didn't block it. It was just like, no, we're gonna fight the lawsuit. But then there's this one random lawsuit in Texas, and then suddenly the Department of Education's like, oh, well, okay, maybe we can't do this. And it's like, well, why? You're the federal government. This is the state of Texas. Why can you not do it just because Texas says you can't do it? Like, you have authority over them. Why don't you just do it? I have never understood that. And I'm not sure what's happened after that, if they've decided to go ahead and move forward with it or what. Another thing that you guys may or may not know I'm a part of is the Ohio unemployment lawsuit. And that was, I guess, decided last week. Basically, in 2021, the governor decided to end unemployment benefits early, the supplemental benefits for COVID. Now, he didn't have the legal right to do that, and I'm a part of a group who sued him over it. It's not class action, but there are thousands of people that are a part of this group. And basically, when it got to the Supreme Court, the Ohio State Supreme Court, they dismissed it as moot. It was pending forever. It was dismissed as moot. But our attorney, the attorney who is representing all of us who are trying to get it's about $3,600 that's still owed to us that the state won't distribute. He was like, well, it's incorrect that the state Supreme Court said that it's moot, but it really doesn't matter that they dismissed it because the lower court, the appellate court, actually ruled that the governor did not have the authority. So the latest ruling, essentially, is that the governor did not have the authority to cut off those benefits. So now the lawyer has to go through the appellate court and say, okay, you ruled this way, now give us the power to enforce this, issue an order telling the state they have to pay these benefits. So there should be close to $4,000 that I'm still getting. If this coat is scratchy or noisy on the mic, somebody tell me that. I'm just wearing it because it's cold down here, but if it's distracting, let me know. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. Max says, love the Monday live stream, making my work day easier. Well, cool, man. Are you working 9 to 5? Are you like about to get off work? Max says, where would you find a garage to rent? Well, in a big city like Columbus, it's not that much of a challenge. A lot of apartment complexes have garages. And from my experience, they will rent to non-residents if no residents are renting them. I've actually, as I've been making deliveries for DoorDash, I've seen quite a few that have signs on the, that actually have signs on the garage itself saying that they're renting. I could call and inquire about those. The main thing is whatever I rent needs to have electric. And of course there's like Facebook Marketplace and there's Craigslist and there's also places like Nextdoor and Neighbor that are specifically meant, they're like Airbnb, but they're literally like for renting out storage space or garages. So there's a lot of different places to look into to see just who would be renting out like a garage space. I knew my dad, he owns, so he has a house, and in the house is a garage. And the garage has an additional stall built onto the side that's not accessible from the rest of the garage. And he rents that out. And he always just posted in the newspaper, like under classifieds, that he was running that. But Max says, also, have you ever had a copy strike on your YouTube account? Yes, I had one once, and it was ridiculous, and it got resolved, but it was stupid. Um, it was not that somebody actually claimed copyright for something, it was that YouTube did it automatically. But the thing about it is this. I have another YouTube channel, and you guys probably have found it. I mean, it's not hidden or anything. It's just my personal YouTube channel, and there are no videos on it other than one video that is also on this channel. And it's about my DNA results. Like when I first got my DNA results back in like 2014, me going over them. Because, there's thousands of those result videos on YouTube now, but there weren't at the time. There's maybe like 10 or 15. So basically, that video got a lot of traction because it was one of the first of those types of videos to be up there. And it was one of the first videos that I ever posted. So in 2014, long story, but I started this channel as a separate channel. And I took that video and I put it on this channel. Well, YouTube automatically gave me a copyright strike for my own video because it detected that I had just taken this video from one channel and then put it on another channel. And I did have to go through the process fighting it, and I explained to them, like, that's literally me. Like, that's also my channel. And I didn't get a response from them, but they did remove the strike. And I've never had any other copyright claims. Guys, my roommates are driving me crazy. They all walk like they're some kind of wildebeest, and they are just going crazy upstairs looking for these keys. I don't know. Hey, you know what? It looks like maybe Mondays work better. We get 20, 21 people on here. So, I've been doing the last Sunday of the month, like, kind of out of tradition. That was kind of, when I did the first live stream, I think it just happened to be on a Sunday. And then I think that's how that got started. And then the 3 p.m. thing was because there were a couple people that said that that was like the time that worked best for them. But, if you guys are, even if we pushed it to like 6 or 7 p.m. During like a business evening, like I could totally do that if it works for more people. Rosie says, did you get your student loans canceled? I think so. It hasn't shown up yet on my credit report, and I haven't gotten any like official thing. I got an email this past week that said that my application was approved, and I didn't apply. So best guess is they just had my information, and that was, they just went ahead and approved me without me actually even filling out the application. So I'm not going to complain about that. We who are about to die salute you. Had to stop at the dry cleaners. That's fancy. Is that for like work clothes? Well, anyway, I knew you said you'd catch this on your ride home. And I was just saying, we've got way more people on here than normal. I thought there'd be fewer actually, because I didn't give a lot of notice, and it's like a weird day since we usually do this on the weekend. But hell, if Monday nights work better for people, maybe we'll start doing them Monday nights. Especially because next month, guys, the last Sunday of the month is Christmas. So not going to stream on Christmas. We'll have to do it either before or after. I'll probably end up putting up a poll. You know what? Let me check something here. Either in the community tab, or I could do it here. Well, okay, that's not gonna help. I have the option to put a poll in the chat. I was gonna have you guys answer what day you would like, um, but it's not gonna work that way. It's not gonna let you guys add options, and I don't have my calendar in front of me to be able to tell you guys what the dates are. I just know that last Sunday of next month is Christmas Day. I will be occupied. Um, I know most of you guys probably will be too, right? Like, we don't need to do like a Christmas stream. We can do before or after. Oh yeah, and if you guys, I don't know if you guys heard that, but they're yelling at the dog. That reminds me, actually, I do get a little bit of a reprieve from both of them. So I guess the old man roommate is going to be leaving for a week, like the week of Christmas, I think. And then the old lady roommates are actually leaving this week, and then again for around Christmas time. So I don't have to deal with the old ladies next week. And then the week of Christmas, I pretty much have the house to myself. The only caveat is that I have to do some stuff with the dog. But I guess there's gonna be some rando that comes in to like feed her and stuff. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm gonna probably end up taking her to the park or something because I don't think she actually ever gets to go out. I have to be maybe in the middle of the night because she doesn't like other people. So she barks at everybody. Okay, well, let me know, guys, if you have any questions. I'm trying out this new Q&A feature. We don't have to use it because I haven't seen anybody else use it yet. Everyone's just using the general chat, and that's totally fine. They just, I think this month, started this Q&A feature, and I wasn't sure how exactly that worked anyway. All right. Well, so that is pretty much all, guys. Like I said, I have just been working. I'm not doing anything exciting or entertaining. And as much as I would like to do some like more like vlog videos about me, what I do day to day, doing TaskRabbit and DoorDash, I need the money right now. I'm not able to like take the additional time to shoot the video and edit the video. Maybe when I get in a better place financially, I can slow down a little bit and I can make some content based on that. But right now, I need it just for the money itself. Rosie says, where is your ultimate goal once you get your finances in order? I mean, I just want to be happy and not worried about money. I just want to spend my days basically doing stuff that's fun and that I like. But I'm also like not. I think a lot of people that have money, they use it to be lazy, and I don't want that. I want to use it to be active. Like I don't want to just have money and not work and just lay around. No, I want to have money so that I can go do other stuff, just stuff that's not work. And it's the same way of like when people get money and they decide that they want to, go out and buy like expensive, unhealthy food. I'm like, no, I want to get money so I can start ordering for meal prep companies and have the time away from work and the money to go to the gym. Like, I want to use being in a better financial position to better myself, not to be lazy. And yeah, I wish that could happen all at once, but it's really going to be a one thing at a time kind of thing. I think one stage of that is going to be getting this getting all this past stuff paid off, which I think I can mostly do by the end of the year, if not by January. And then once that's done, I have more free time. You guys know I've got the lawsuit going on, but I'm doing almost all of that myself. So there's hardly anything in attorney's fees. And it's a slow pace and it's self paced. So I can have time to make the money I need for that when I do have to pay for something. And I'm also able to just kind of go into, um, like if I need to, whoa, thank you. Ash's Internet Stories, 1999. Happy late Thanksgiving. Here's some dough for you. Well, thank you. That actually helps out a ton, guys. So thank you again for the super chat. When you guys do the super chat thing, yeah, we were about to die salute. You don't have to worry. It's not a competition, but here's the thing. I don't make enough yet on YouTube that I get paid every month. If I can get YouTube to be a reliable source of income every month, man, that's great. That'll be something else. But YouTube has a $100 threshold, and I don't hit that every month. It's usually every other month, sometimes every 3 months, just depending on how little I'm making as far as content. I'm really just relying on people watching older videos for that ad money to come in, especially when I'm not making anything new. But when you guys contribute to the super chat, that kind of layers on top of the ad money that comes in, and it goes toward that $100. So the more super chats we get during the live stream, the quicker it is that I actually get paid out something. And with like the current financial situation I'm in, it's just kind of like $100 to me, an extra $100 in a month where I get paid out from YouTube is like a huge deal. That pays a bill, or that's like 2 full tanks of gas. So it's a big deal at that point. All right, so we're getting a lot of questions rolling in. It's all car questions now. So Ash, because you sent the super chat, I'm actually gonna mention something first regarding you. Well, 2 things actually. What is your profile picture? It looks like I can't tell. Is that a fox? And then you mentioned Thanksgiving. I kind of just completely blew. Yeah, I forgot that it was Thanksgiving last week. I mean, not at the time, but I forgot now that it was Thanksgiving. My roommates, my old man roommate, asked me what I wanted to do for Thanksgiving, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to my mom's. This is the first time, like the first year I've ever not really that I've ever like not really been able to spend Thanksgiving with my family, because my mom and I are not on good terms. And unfortunately, about a month ago, she called me and was really nasty and hung up on me. And it sucks I can't spend it with my family, but I also don't want to deal with that. And if I come back, shortly after she does that, and I'm like, hey, let's spend the holidays together, I mean, it just kind of shows her that that's okay to do that, and it's not. So I didn't want to spend it with her. My roommate asked me what his plans and the old lady roommates, what they were doing for Thanksgiving. And I was just like, oh no, like, and so he asked me, he's like, well, did you want to do Thanksgiving here, just the 4 of us? And I was like, no, that's okay. And then, like, in my head, I'm like, that is the absolute last thing I would ever want. That's my roommate starting the car. I don't know if you can hear that. Whoa, Ash, whoa, thank you. $99.99. Well, let's guarantee that 100. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'll finish the story and then I'll hit you up on the your second super chat. Thank you so much for that because that's literally going to obviously put me over the threshold. And once I'm back caught up on stuff, I'll be back to making budget with me's and budget reviews. When I was doing that, I was hitting it about every other month. I'd roughly get about $50 in advertising revenue a month, and then that would, yeah. So every other month it would pay out. But yeah, I want to start being like, okay, I know I'm going to have $100 a month minimum coming in from this. And once I get some of this stuff cleared up, once TaskRabbit gets to be more of a thing, like it picks back up. Yeah, hey, we are about to die. Salute you. If you want to send me $999, you're welcome to do that. um, but okay, let me see here. Yeah, we who are about to die. Salute you says I cannot top that. Rosie says, is your car paid off? What type of car do you have? How much did you save or give down? Okay, so my car is paid off. I have a 2013 Subaru Impreza. It's my every time I do anything down here, my roommates make it like the biggest deal. Like they're like telling each other not to come down here and bother me, but then they make as much noise as possible. Okay, so my car is paid off. I have a 2013 Subaru Impreza. It is a hatchback. It's a pretty small car. It's the cheapest Subaru that's made. I bought it in December of 2017. I bought it from Carvana. I did make a video about that experience. It's up on the channel. And that was kind of before Carvana was like super mainstream. So it was one of the first videos up about that kind of experience. And my car was paid off in 2020. So I had a 6-year loan, I think, and I paid it off in 3 years. Most of that was because in 2020 I had that job that I was making like an obscene amount of money. So I was putting a lot of extra toward things, and I paid off my credit cards, and then I also paid off the car. I think at the time, I think I'd paid it down to 10,000, and then I ended up within a couple of months I paid off that extra 10,000, and got the car paid off. So it is paid off. It has 191,000 miles on it. But for a Subaru, it's high-ish, but it's not high. I mean, it should make it to 300,000, no problem. It does have some issues. I really need to replace the driver's seat because like there's something wrong with it. I don't know. I sit in the seat lopsided and it's so uncomfortable. I think the bottom of it fell through and the heating on the seat doesn't work anymore. There's like, it always says it needs oil because the oil sensor's bad. So I have to check that manually. It does burn oil slowly. I have to add a cord every once in a while. It's got some body damage from where somebody backed into me at a parking lot. It's got some issues, but you know what? It's mechanically reliable, and man, I can't complain. It's great. So all I can ask is something to be reliable. And how much did I save or put down? Well, at the time, I really was in a bad place financially. So in September of 2017, my car blew up. And this was the car I had before this. I took the bus for like 2 months, and then I got a job where one of the stipulations of them giving me the job was that I had to buy a car. They told me I was going to need it for the job, not to commute to work, but because they were going to need me to drive around and do stuff. I don't remember the title of the video, but it was one of the videos I made. Oh, it was I'm going full time on YouTube. That was the plan at the time. But like in half of that video, I talk about that job and why I quit. But I was only at that job for a month and a half or so. But when I had my proof of income, From that job, I got the car mostly because they were like, well, you have to have that car to work here. So I bought the car. It was the first time I ever took out a car loan. I put $800 down, and the car was about $13,000, or actually a little bit more, because I think it was 13,000 for the loan, which was after the 800. And then I made my payment every month. It was 279 plus 11 for the gap insurance, so 290 a month. And I made that payment for about 2 years, 2.5 years. It paid it down about $3,000. And then, like I said, with that job I had 2 years ago, I had all that extra, and I just paid it off with that. So it's all good. We Who Are About to Die Salute You says, I did, and I still have yet to pay my $10,000 from the Department of Education. Oh, you're saying, I think you're saying you applied for the student loan forgiveness. TMUSA, I joined late, so skip if you already covered this. How has your car been running? So I haven't talked about that. Basically, my car has been very reliable. Like I said, it's nothing to look at, and it has some problems, and it has 191,000 on it, but it runs fine. The only thing that has been going on with it is that the rear brakes were metal on metal, and I got those replaced, I think, 2 weeks ago now. I found a local guy who is so much cheaper. The dealership wanted $1,000 for rear brakes. There was there's a Firestone here in town that has done my brakes before, but they're 500. And I got this guy to do it for 290, or maybe it's 270. But anyway, like super cheap, and it's been great. So this guy doesn't do everything, and he's not that cheap on everything. For some reason, for example, Walmart is cheaper than him on oil changes, but I think for some stuff that needs done, I found this way now to save a good bit of money on the car. But it doesn't really, I mean, like I mentioned, like there's some weird random stuff that I can kind of work around that's wrong with it. But as far as like reliability and day-to-day functioning, it doesn't need anything else. It's got all new tires this year. It's got all new brakes this year. It got a new accessory drive belt in January, a new pulley for that whole assembly in like January or February. Technically it needs an alignment, but you know, if that gets done, that gets done. Otherwise I'll just deal with it the way it is. So, you know, it's at that point where I don't want to put a ton of money into it because it is an old car. But I'm always going to keep up on like the main things to keep it running. And I would say probably if I get my finances together in the next 2 or 3 months, I would say toward the end of 2022, or no, end of 2023 or beginning of 2024, I should be in a place financially where I might be looking at buying a new car. But I may even keep this one at this point, at that point, just to use for like work stuff. Okay, bot Yisrael. Have you completed all your car repairs? So brakes are now completed, front and back this year. Tires completed this year. I do need to eventually go. So there's like Athens is a weird town. There's a hippie commune here, and the business that they do is that they exclusively they work on Subarus. So they are going to fix the oil sensor for me. They're just going to take a used one out of one of their cars and replace it. That's not a super high priority thing, but I need to get that done eventually. And that's really it. There's really no other, well, like I said, I should get an alignment. But there's nothing super urgent on there. We were about to die salute you says, wait. They sent you an email stating that they had your info on file. I always wondered if they did that because I wanted to see if they have me on file. So yeah, I got it last week, and it just says like U.S. Department of Education, and I think the title of the email was something like "Your application has been approved," and I'm like, "What application?" Like, I know I haven't applied because I've been meaning to, and it did say in the email something along the lines of, "Thank you for your application," or if you didn't apply, we had the information we needed on file to approve you. So they do have access to it. I don't know if they send all those emails out at once or who knows. And I don't, I don't actually have access here to read that email verbatim to you. I've got my computer up here, but my computer's 10 years old. It would take with everything it's running right now, and because I'm watching the live stream over here too, it'd take 15 minutes to get the email up. So I don't want to deal with that. Okay, so now we're down to Ash's second super chat, 99.99. Thank you. That actually, I think, is probably the largest super chat I've ever got on the channel. I've got some pretty large ones. Normally, when I get the large ones, they're either in like euros or Swedish kroner, but I mean, hey, I'll take whatever currency I can get. I appreciate it, guys. I don't like to ask for money on here, but it does help out a lot. Okay, so let's see. Ash's internet story says, "Well, let's guarantee that 100 for you this Christmas." Oh yeah, thank you. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Oh, it's Luna from Hell of a Boss on YouTube. I think you're talking about your profile picture. Hell of a Boss on YouTube. Great show. Happy holidays. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard of that show. Yeah, and like, man, I just got past Thanksgiving. I have not even thought about Christmas or any of that stuff yet. Or, wow, New Year's. That's another one I gotta figure out too. Okay. Well, it's going to be kind of like Thanksgiving. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to tell you guys this in my Thanksgiving story. So I ordered the holiday plate at Bob Evans because like every restaurant's closed. And guys, I don't know where everybody was in the house. I was the only one here, which was nice. But it was just me and the dog. And you have never seen a dog so happy because like generally I give her part of what I'm eating anyhow, but like she was smiling, like she was actually smiling because like it's not the regular frozen stuff that I heat up that I normally eat myself. I spent like, I had one day where I spent a decent amount of money and got myself like decent food for the holiday, and I'm like giving her like little pieces of sliced ham and turkey, and she was I I mean, she always likes food, but man, she was just so content. Um, yeah, we are about to die salute you. Can we see $999? I mean, hey, um, you know, somebody wants to do that, I'm not gonna say no. TMUSA says, "Wow, Ash, you were so generous. That's so cool to see." Thank you to well, both of you actually. Um, we were about to die salute you says Kentucky made it harder for anyone to get UI. Oh, unemployment. Yeah. Um, during the pandemic. Yeah, see, Ohio, they were kind of the one state that was known that their unemployment system was so messed up. Like, you could not speak to a person on the phone. Like, and they had messed everything up. And then they cut it off early. And the governor was just straight up like, no, like, people need to get back to work. Um, and he just was, he said that's why he was doing it, is that people needed to start working. And, it's kind of like, well, that's not what the federal government said. They said that we still need this. And so that's what the fight's over. And we will get it eventually. Because even though we technically lost at the Supreme Court level, so basically the way that our attorney, his name's Mark Dan. I don't mind you guys knowing that because, this isn't what I'm using for my West Virginia stuff. This is for my Ohio stuff. But he used to be the state attorney general. And because of that, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. The way that he told us is like, they should not have said this is moot. It's definitely not moot because you're still owed the money. He said, but because the case that the state appealed was from the decision at the appellate court where they said the governor did not have the right to stop those payments, because it's declared as moot, it just goes back to that decision where they said he didn't have that authority. So now it's just a matter of getting that appellate court to issue orders for the money to actually be distributed. So let's see. Rosie Cortez says, Ash, you were awesome. Nikita says, great, Ash, that's very supportive. Ash says, love helping people, especially during the holidays. Yeah, thank you again. And I have not, I have not really thought ahead of the holidays. I guess after this live stream, I'll be kind of more in the mindset of like, hey, it's almost December, almost Christmas, almost the end of the year. And I'll start kind of preparing myself. Sometimes I just get like so busy and working that it doesn't even register. It's just like, hey, this is a work day, or like it's a day off, and it doesn't even register like what time of year it is. We Were About to Die Salute You says 3 p.m. was because of Jennifer in Sweden. Yeah, I do think that she was one of the people that said 3 p.m. and it was because I don't know what time it is in Sweden right now, but yeah, it was so that she could be on here because it's like much later there. Nikita says, have you thought about next year plans for your finances? Will you try for full-time job? No. Well, probably not. So, okay, let me say it this way. I don't think, well, I'll answer the first one first. Okay, so have you thought about next year plans for your finances? Kind of. I know I mentioned last live stream that I had filmed a video that I wanted to get edited this month, and you guys have seen how that's happened. That's not happened at all. But I really want to get it up before the end of the year. And it's how I'm doing with the financial goals this year. But I will make, like, at the beginning of January or so, I'll also make a video as like a final, like how I did on financial stuff for 2022. I'm gonna have to also then make a new video for 2023 and like financial goals for that year. I haven't put much thought at all into it, but just knowing where I am right now, I know that a lot of it is just gonna be like, okay, find a way to make enough money, get myself shored up financially, get caught up on all the back stuff that I've gotten behind on, and then start saving money to move forward, meaning like finding a place to live that's on my own and not this place. Also, probably getting finances prepared to possibly buy a new car within the next year or two. It's just based on my car being so old. There's nothing wrong with it now, but I just want to be ready when there is. And So that's not like a really detailed answer. I'll have to think more about that as far as like when I go to make the 2023 financial goals video. Um, I want to say it's kind of going to be a rebuilding year, which is what I said 2022 was going to be. But then I got slapped with this entire like court thing that just ruined my entire life. Um, so now I'm almost like starting over again in 2023 in the same place I was at the beginning of 2022. In some ways worse, maybe a couple ways a little bit better, but we'll see. And then of course I've still got the lawsuits going on, but that's more self-paced now. It's not like drop everything and immediately write papers and pay the attorney all this money. It's I can kind of do it piecemeal, and I have time to go make the money I need for the stuff when I need it. Let's see. Well-Behaved Wallet says, Well-Behaved Wallet says, hey Mark, glad you're doing a live stream this month. Yeah, I know the last few months I have been so busy with stuff that it's been like a last minute thought to actually get the live stream scheduled. I don't want you guys to ever think that I'm not going to do a live stream, because I may well not do any other videos, but I'll do the live stream because I can just sit here and talk to you guys. There's not any kind of editing or planning or any kind of effort like that that I have to put into it. It's literally just sitting down and doing it. And I want to stay connected to you guys even when I'm not making regular videos. So I'll always check in just to catch you up on what's going on. And I think that that's kind of what we're doing right now until I can make enough time to make videos again. We're just going to have to do this, but I mean, hopefully that's going to change soon. But it won't ever go below this level. Like I won't ever not have the monthly live stream. And We Who Are About to Die Salute You says, I got a new job with the state government of Kentucky. Okay. And my tie and pant was kind of smelly. All right. Well, congrats on the new job. I mean, government job sounds good. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I try not to ever have to dress up. It makes me uncomfortable. I mean, every once in a while, like, because I got a couple nice suits that I bought years ago. They're still nice because I never wear them. But, you know, when I have to go to court or something, I'll wear them and, you know, I feel great. I feel confident. But outside of those examples, most of the time when I'm dressed up, I just feel like so awkward and out of my element. I hate it. So getting jobs, I would try to, how do I say this? I would try to just get a job at like a tech startup or something where I don't have to buy new clothes and I can just wear whatever I normally wear. That also reminds me, I think I forgot. Yeah, okay, I forgot the other half of Nikita's question. She had asked, will you try for a full-time job? I don't think so. I think I'm past that at this point. On the one hand, we have the concerns that now that I am on the National Domestic Violence Registry, that I can't pass a background check. And that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be able to ever get a full-time job, but it's hard enough to get a job. And then, you know, if I do get one, then a lot of times I wouldn't end up getting it because of that. So it's kind of a numbers game, I think, but I think I've just sort of transcended beyond full-time work. Now I work 60 to 80 hours a week doing what I'm doing, but between COVID and then like all this stuff that has happened afterward, it's put me in a position where I had to be self-employed. I was forced to, and I didn't think I was nearly ready to be. but I've made it, guys. I mean, I've been self-employed since um, you know, I'm not counting all the government benefits from unemployment, so I'm trying to think of when those stopped. October of 2021. So more than a year now. And I've made it work. So yeah, I think it's proven to me that I can do it on my own. And I need that flexibility for working on this court stuff coming up. But at the same time, this is what I wanted to do anyway. Like eventually I want it to be basically exclusively YouTube. But right now I'm doing TaskRabbit, YouTube, um, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. Putting all that together, we make it work. I'm not gonna 100% rule out ever finding a full-time job, but I really, if I could even get it because of the background check thing, the thing that it would be the inflexibility of it that would be a major problem for me right now. I mean, maybe if there was such a thing as a full-time job, it's like, hey, just do 40 hours. We don't care when you do it. If there's something like that, like maybe. But I'm also not really going to be like pursuing and looking for work either. I'm going to be pursuing building my business through TaskRabbit, and since that's a good money maker, then using that money to help buy myself a little time off, and in that time off, I can use that for YouTube. Also that reminds me, guys. It may not happen till spring because well, it's cold now, but I think last month's live stream we talked about whether there'd be any interest in me making videos about, you know what, I'm actually going to put up a poll for this because you all don't have to comment, but I would like you to vote in the poll. So I'm just going to put this poll up. Would you guys be interested in seeing videos from me where I'm cleaning out and organizing my storage unit? A lot of it would be probably a lot of footage, a lot of it just like kind of fast forwarded where you can see me running all over the place. Oh, TM USA, thank you. Yeah, hey, you're here like every month. I really appreciate that. Yeah, happy holidays to you too. Like I said, I have not thought that far ahead, but I'm still like in Thanksgiving mind, I think. But thank you guys, thank you for that. I'm gonna put this poll up, and I'm just gonna ask the question: would you like to see videos of me cleaning out my storage unit? I wish you guys had the option of adding, because I mean, if somebody's like, no, that's boring as hell, I don't want to see that. I think that should be an option, but all right, so we just got yes and no on here. So I just put it in, it should be, okay, it should be in the chat. So there it goes. Cool. Okay, and I'll check on that after people have had time to vote. Actually, that's probably a good chance. Let me go get a refill. I will be right back, guys. That gives you guys a little bit of time to vote. And when you get back, or when I get back, I will, I'll go over the poll results, and then we'll go through and I'll finish up the rest of the comments that I haven't gotten to yet. Okay guys, I am back. Okay, looks like we've got some poll results, so let's go over those first. Okay, so I guess I only gave you guys 4 minutes to vote. I thought it was gone a little bit longer than that, but all right, it looks like we've got so far 80% for yes for videos of cleaning out storage unit and 20% no. So 4 no vote or four yes votes, 1 no. That gives me a general idea. You know, I guess for the one person that doesn't want it, I guess just don't watch those videos. You know, that's not the only content I'll be making, but I did last year film a ton of hours of me cleaning the storage unit, and then I ended up never doing anything. The footage is still on my phone. I have so much content I filmed for you guys that I just have not put up. So once I get caught up on things, and now that the lawsuit's not going to be so much in the way, there's going to be a lot of content that I can start putting up again. All right, so I'll go ahead and end this poll. Okay, cool. Poll ended. Now let me get back to the rest of your comments. All right, we who are about to die salute you, says community tab. So I think you're referring to me saying earlier that like with the community tab, I only have access to that when I'm on a laptop or desktop. I even tried using the mobile browser on my phone and it just doesn't show up there. And it's not on the creator app for YouTube. Basically what that is it's a way for me to communicate with you guys. I think once you get to like 1,000 subscribers, you get this extra tab. And then anybody who interacts with you or has subscribed to you, you can post. It's almost like an old school Facebook where you can post a status, you can post questions and put like a poll, or you can share a video or something like that. And what I try to do is like the situation this past weekend where I was like, hey guys, I got to push the live stream out a day because I've got this work I've got to do. I wasn't able to actually let you guys know because I was in Columbus, my computer was in Athens, an hour away, and I couldn't do anything from the phone itself. So that's, I think, what he's referring to with that. Well-Behaved Wallet says, totally agree that for a Subaru, $191,000 is just getting started. I just sold my 2004 Toyota Camry at $218,000, and it still has plenty of life in it. Subarus and Toyotas can run forever. Yeah, they can. And Toyota actually owns 20% of the Subaru company. They've collaborated to make the BRZ, and you know, so I think Toyota definitely has influence over Subaru now, because they own 1/5 of the company, or math, yeah, 1/5 of the company. But you know, so I think that well, if you actually go to the Subaru dealerships, they've got this big interactive touchscreen display in there, and there's this thing called the Million Mile Club. It's somewhat rare, but not unheard of for Subarus to hit 1 million miles. And it's got pictures of like all the owners and stuff of the people who have joined the club. And you can actually rank, they actually have a ranking, I guess when you get it serviced at the dealership, but like they take your odometer rating, and there's like a ranking for like how high people have gotten their odometer with their Subaru. So yeah, I mean, like I always kind of said I was going to get rid of the car at 200,000, but I was not anticipating that most of those miles were going to be put on it this year. Because I think I started the year at like I don't even think I had 120,000. It's just because I've made so many trips to Columbus with like the situation that I'm in right now. But yeah, with me trying to rent a room or a garage up there, it's going to cut down on the commute a lot. Maybe only driving back and forth once or twice a week rather than 5 times a week. Well-behaved wallet says, so glad to hear that you're slowly/surely moving to a better place financially. What are your financial plans for next year? So yeah, and that's the thing that's really tough about it is like I started this channel in 2014 and it was somewhat about getting my finances together. And then like 2020, I finally did. I finally got that job. And I mean, I paid off my credit cards, I paid off my car, I saved $13,000. And then I just got absolutely destroyed when me and the girl didn't move to North Carolina. It was a combination of a whole bunch of things of how it messed me up so badly. And then very shortly after that, just a few months after that, losing the job in Morgantown and then losing my apartment and then like everything. And the real only saving grace I've had is that I found TaskRabbit where I'm able to make a decent living. It's just the thing that makes that not as good as it could be, that it has the potential to be, is just that I live so far away from where the work is available. So when I say that I'm like making things more efficient, getting a place to stay up there so that I can work more and therefore get my finances together more, that's one of the things that I'm working on. And that's going to happen probably not by the end of this year, but soon in the beginning of the new year. And so you said, what are your financial plans for next year? Well, kind of as I said earlier, it's going to have to be a rebuilding year, which 2022 was also supposed to be, but then I got slapped with all the court stuff and then losing my job and losing my housing and like everything just got knocked so off course. But I'm going to have to, for 2023, it's going to include all of those things. It's building my business by making the money doing the business, but also like making things official, getting incorporated, getting business bank accounts, and buying proper tools to use, things like that. And also starting to save again and paying off my credit card balances, which I'm on a payment plan right now to get caught up. My second payment comes out in the first week of December, and it's the second of three payments, and then I'll be caught up. Now I obviously still have a balance to pay, but I got behind on the minimum payments, so I'm on a payment arrangement with them. But that's 1/3 of the way caught up to get back on track. And so I guess I don't have any more definite plans for next year until I really sit down and think about what all the different parts of getting caught up is going to be. But that's the main plan, is just to do that. TMUSA says, get the alignment done or your tires will wear unevenly. Yeah, it's definitely too late for that because it's... Okay. Back in 2019, I got new tires. The best tires I could get for this car. Got the alignment, got all that. And I just put so many miles on the car since then that it got to the point in April of this year where there was literally a spot on one of my rear tires where the tire was unraveling. Like it had metal sticking out of the tire because there was literally no tread, and it was like, I don't know what layer is under the tread, but it was eating through that. And it was going very quickly. Like I was clearly going to have a blowout soon. Um, I had to go to that April 22nd appellate hearing in Parkersburg. I had to literally limp the car driving like 35 to get to the hearing. And then I had to go to Walmart immediately afterward and get tires. I got some completely shitty tire because it's all I could afford. And with me having all-wheel drive, having a Subaru, I have to get all 4 tires because the tread levels have to match or it messes up the all-wheel drive. So I had to get 4 tires. I mean, they all needed replaced, but that one was like an emergency. And with all those expenses, there was only one that I could even afford. I had to get it at Walmart, and Walmart doesn't do alignments because normally you get your tires and then you get alignment done, but they don't do it. You have to take it somewhere else. So it's definitely probably too late to prevent the tread issue, but because that was April and this is November, and I've put so many miles on it the way it is. But you know, whatever. Well, I guess we'll deal with that problem when it comes up. Okay, KDH2 Jones. You shouldn't be celebrating that pagan day anyways, my brother. You mean Christmas? Wait, are you talking about Christmas being a pagan holiday? I don't know. I like holidays. I mean, I don't know. We are about to die salute you says supposedly YouTube takes 30% out of the super chat and then you have taxes and all that. Yeah, they take a percentage. I don't know what the cut is. But they do take, because it's the same cut that they take of the advertising, I think. Like they play an ad and they get a certain payment from the ad sponsor and then they take their cut and then we get the rest. And it's the same way with the super chats. I don't know if it's the exact same percentage, but it works the same way. And yeah, and then you're right. It's $10.99. So after they take their money out, they send you the $10.99 for the remainder, and then you have to pay, taxes and the self-employment portion of the taxes on that too. So FNAF. I don't know what that means. And then he says, my mom is like that too. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Tell me what FNAF means, because I don't know what that means. But I think you're talking about when I said that my mom was being mean to me and that I didn't want to spend Thanksgiving with her. Yeah, she's like, it's gotten worse over the years, and it's gotten really bad this year. And I've just got to the point where I'm like, look, you have to stop hanging up on me. And it's just got to the point where she's done it a couple more times after I told her to stop. And at some point I just have to be like, okay, look, I'm not going to just keep coming back around after you do the thing that I told you not to do. Okay, so then TMUSA says happy holidays. That's the $19.99 super chat. Thank you for that. And thank you for always being here. I know you're like on every live stream. Well-Behaved Wallet says yes, 100% to cleaning out the storage unit. Okay. I mean, I know that's kind of like a new type of video, like, I guess, domestic stuff than what you guys have seen, but I've actually filmed other videos. Like, one video that I filmed that I really desperately want to get up here is the video of like when I lived in the office and that whole setup of how that was. It was like an office home tour. And I even showed you guys like how the bed unfolds and folds back into a couch and how the the camp toilet works and like my kitchen setup and stuff. But again, that all I gotta have time and get all that edited. So, and then for the poll, I shut it off after 5 minutes, but the final result was 4 votes for, 1 vote against. So I guess I will go ahead and make those videos, but you guys will just have to, if you don't like that kind of video, just don't watch that kind. But it will be from 2021 that all that stuff was filmed, and then again in 2023, I got to finish the job. So there'll be a lot more organization stuff going on in 2023. So Rosie Cortez says yes to watching you organize your storage unit. And TM USA says yes on storage unit cleanup. I think it would help you stay on track with it too. Sorry, missed the voting, had to step away. That's okay. I only had it open for 5 minutes just to see what people would say. So that's basically a 6th vote for that. Yeah, Ash's internet story says, you said you are in the domestic violence registry. Yeah, so there's this national thing called the NCIC, which I think stands for National Crime Information Center. And they essentially are a clearinghouse for a lot of different types of information regarding like court and law enforcement and stuff. I am on, it's literally just called the National Domestic Violence Registry. And the way I got on that is because I don't know what to call her, the girl, we'll call her that because that's what we've been calling her. The girl filed a restraining order against me in February. And the messed up thing about it, I mean, like that particular situation, like nothing she said was even remotely true. So like that part of it's messed up. But in general, for everyone, the thing that's messed up about it is that they put you on this registry as soon as paperwork is filed. So let me just explain this. So when somebody goes to file for a protection order, it's just the person filing that's there. The other side isn't there. That's pretty normal in the legal system. Not just for this type of stuff, but for other hearings as well. A lot of times the first hearing is what's called ex parte, and it means like just one side is there. And that's fine. I understand that if there was like real domestic violence that occurred, that you would want somebody to not, at least at that point, not have to round up the person abusing them and take them and get them to come to court with them. Like, I get that. But my problem is that at an ex parte hearing, there's no evidence necessary. None. Nothing presented. It's usually just the person's testimony. They say whatever they're going to say. And then based on that, a magistrate, who is the lowest level judge, they're not even a lawyer, they're they actually don't even have to have a high school diploma. Like they're not esteemed highly in the legal community. They usually deal with like traffic tickets and stuff. They make a determination about whether there's probable cause for it to move on to like the regular court. Here's the problem. At this low level, where there's no burden of proof at all, if somebody comes in with an accusation, they get it, no questions asked. It's at that level that they then send off the other person, the person who didn't get to defend themselves or even know they were being accused of anything. That person is added to this National Domestic Violence Registry. And again, they don't even know they've been accused. They have not had a chance to defend themselves, and there's no burden of proof. the problem, well, I mean, it shouldn't happen that early. The idea is, from the court's perspective, that they are issuing a temporary emergency protective order. And they put the information in that system so that it's available to all law enforcement. So, you know, like, say I'm in California and she's in West Virginia. Like, if I get pulled over in California, they run my information, they're going to see it on there. And they're going to know that I have an active protection order against me. But the other issue with this is that once you're in that system, you can never get out. The only thing that can happen is that the court is supposed to, and you have no way of confirming whether they do or not, but they are supposed to send in something when it is expired, when the protection order is expired, to show that it's expired. But that's it. It can never be removed, no matter what. There's not a process for that to happen. And so once you're put in there, anytime a background check's done, whether it be for work or for getting an apartment, because I don't know about you guys, but I worked in the apartment industry for years, and one of our rules was if you have a violent crime on your background check, they won't rent an apartment to you. And I mean, domestic violence, it's violence, right? It's a violent crime. And if that's showing on there, even though I didn't have a hearing, I didn't have criminal charges, I wasn't convicted, it was just put on there only from her word, and it can never be removed. You know, who knows if I can even get an apartment in the future because that's on there. So when I say I'm on the National Domestic Violence Registry, it's for that. It was put on there before my side was heard. Well, not that my side was really heard in court anyhow, but like before I even was supposed to have the opportunity for that to happen, it was put on there, and there's absolutely no way to be removed from it. So for the rest of my life, anytime I do a background check, apply for a job, apply for an apartment, or if we thought, I don't know, just like when I get pulled over, that's going to come up, 10 years from now. And I mean, who is a cop going to give more of a break to? A person who, was speeding and doesn't have something on their record, or somebody who is listed as having been violent toward a domestic partner. Like, it's just going to continue to screw me over my whole life. And it's just not only even those things, but like, well, right now I still don't have gun rights. That's a whole other thing. I got to go back to the court and petition for that because those aren't automatically restored. It's just a whole mess. It's just completely ridiculous, the whole system. And, this is part of what my lawsuit's about, right? All these ways in which she's damaged me for the future, where I might not ever be able to get an apartment or a job, or how this is always going to be looked down upon because it's always on like this permanent record, and there's no way for it to ever even be removed. So yeah, that's part of my argument for damages for the lawsuit. And then Nikita says, do you have a lot of balance on a credit card? I have about $8,000, and it is primarily because when I was living in Morgantown, I wasn't making enough to live on because I was supposed to be living with the girl, and she was supposed to be helping to contribute. And I had taken those jobs with the thought that I was going to be making what I was making, plus she was going to be contributing her part. And without it, it wasn't enough to get by. At the same time, I had also planned on probably getting a work from home job and working from the fraternity house. But with them doing the music and the noise thing constantly, that was not going to work, either for being able to do the job in that space or for me to be able to sleep in order to get up and do a job. And so, yeah, it's, I haven't charged anything on the credit cards in months, but during that period, the balance went up so much because the one was paid off completely. The one that has like I think it's like a $7,000 limit. It was paid off completely, and that got charged up in just a few months. So, yeah, it's going to take a long time to get it paid off, but I'm paying 400 and something a month right now, split between the two of them, but because that's more than the minimum payment, but it's that's to get it caught up. So I see, so I'm finally to the end of the comments. I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. When I get back, I'm gonna tell you guys what's up with the lawsuit, and where that's at right now, and probably what'll happen with that before like we have our next live stream. So before like Christmas time, what should be happening with that. All right, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. 21 people still on. Thank you for that. All right, so here's where we are. I know last live stream, I was telling you guys that within a few days, I would be filing the lawsuit. I did do that. I filed it on November 4th, and then she has 20 days to respond. I was under the impression that she'd been served, I don't know, like on the 4th or the 5th. I had to have the sheriff's department serve it to her. She won't pick up certified letters, and that was the only other option for service. But I knew that would she'd just never pick it up. So normally I use a process server, but they told me I couldn't do that. So I had to actually send the sheriff to her door. And then we were getting close to the 20-day deadline, and I was like, well, I haven't heard anything from her. So I actually ended up calling the sheriff, and I was like, hey, you guys did serve it, right? And they took 10 days to serve her. So here I was thinking that by Thanksgiving I would have an answer, and she hadn't even got it yet. When I finally called them, she'd just been served with it a day or two before. So now she does have until December 4th, the end of the business day, to respond. And she does have to respond. You know, you guys have seen that there were several things she was supposed to respond to when I appealed to the state Supreme Court, and she just didn't respond at all. It's different though in a lawsuit, because with the state Supreme Court, if you don't cooperate and you don't respond, you're hurting yourself because if you don't disagree with what the one side says, they're just assuming you agree. And it works similarly with a lawsuit, but the way that it works is basically if she doesn't respond, then she goes into okay, so if she doesn't respond, she admits guilt to the charges. It's the same thing as pleading guilty. So if that happens, then, I have a plan of what to do from there. Or if she does respond, then we just move forward like a normal lawsuit. I obviously don't have an answer about which direction that's going to go right now. She's got another week or so. And after that, by the next live stream, if she doesn't respond, basically I win. And I'll start moving on to collections. If she does respond, then we just move forward in the process. And forward in the process would start doing discovery, where I start with the request for production of documents. And that's probably where we'll be by Christmas time, is that I will have requested the first batch of stuff from her, and then I think she has 30 days to get all that together. So that's where things are. Now, with the appeal, I am fairly sure that we won't know until at least January at the earliest what's going on with that. There is still a chance that they're going to look at that and they're going to remand it back to family court. And that hearing we had in April, we have to do that entire thing over. But from what I can tell from the Supreme Court's website, it does not seem that they have put it on the schedule for the rest of the year. It looks like they've got it filled out for the rest of the year, and it's not on there. The only thing is, because it is a domestic violence case, it's considered confidential, so they might not be putting it on the website. I might just get a surprise letter in my P.O. box, and they've ruled on it, and it wasn't online. But I guess I won't know that until I get something like that. But I think more than likely, it's going to be January at the very earliest that gets ruled on, and then so we're kind of waiting on that. We're kind of waiting on her right now for the lawsuit, but pretty much for the most part, everything with all that is just going to stay the way it is right now for the rest of the year. Now the lawsuit's the only thing that might potentially move forward. And that's more so going to move forward if she doesn't respond, because at that point, it's just like, okay, I won. Let's start collecting everything. So we'll see. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea, what her thoughts are on it or anything. Maybe she will just admit to everything. And at that point, it's just like, okay, here are the damages you asked for. And I guess from a financial standpoint, I won't have any financial problems anymore. Just so you guys know, I think I mentioned in the last live stream that I was going to ask for a large amount of money. And I did. I asked for $3.5 million. And I asked for the maximum punitive damages, which is capped by statute at $500,000. So basically, if she does not respond, I get awarded $4 million. Plus interest from the time I filed the thing. So yeah, like I said, if she doesn't respond in the next week, basically I win $4 million. And I don't know, I guess we'll have to have a video about me paying off all of my debt with that or something. We'll figure it out. But Max just said, so I mean, before I move on though, that's really all I have as far as updates about the court cases. Max says, Mark, tips for new YouTubers. Well, I mean, I guess tell me where you're at with your YouTube channel, and I can kind of tell you what to do. It's been a long time since I started, but I'm still like pretty small YouTuber, so I'm trying to think of general advice. Kayak Crabber says, would she have? Oh, would she have $4 million to pay you? It's kind of debatable. She could easily get it from her family if she wanted to, but I doubt she would. She would probably try to do it just based on her own finances. If that's the case, no. But it also kind of doesn't really matter, because like not having the money is not an excuse not to pay the money. So basically, once I get the judgment, I'll just, I'll garnish bank accounts, garnish wages, take her car, auction it off to sell the money, or not to sell the money, but to put the money toward the settlement, or like toward what she owes me. So basically, once I get that judgment, it doesn't really matter if she doesn't have $4 million up front. It gives me the legal authority to take what she has and use it to pay toward that. So, and what I had fully expected to happen is that I had fully expected that we were going to go to court, and we were going to have our fight out about stuff, and if I won, then the jury would decide how much she got. I didn't really think that they would award me $3.5 million. The reason that that's on there and is such a big number is, well, primarily the two reasons it's so big is future earnings potential that she's taken because of me being on that registry and, not being able to get work because of it. And also for the emotional distress and the mental damages. And that's why that number is so high. But if she just went to trial, like if she replies and we actually go to trial, the jury can knock that down. Like they give me something, but maybe they give me like $100,000, when I asked for 3.5 million. But by her not responding, she's admitting legal liability. And at that point, they just give you whatever you asked for. So I could have asked for like $100 trillion, and that's what they'd award me, just because she's not responding or arguing against it. So Virus just said, just got here, what happened to the case? So I just went over this, so I'll kind of say this briefly. But there's two cases now. There's the Supreme Court, which is where I've appealed the protection order to the Supreme Court. They've not ruled on it, and I don't think they're going to rule on it until at least January. So really no news on that. And then the lawsuit I mentioned last live stream, I did get filed since then, and we're currently waiting to see if she responds. She has 20 days, so she has about a little less, I think, than a week now. And then, of course, what I do next will be dependent upon whether she responds or not. And dog's barking. But that's pretty much it. So I think it's going to be more than likely January before anything huge happens unless she doesn't respond, at which point, you know, I just win, and then I'll start collecting from her. So that would happen in December, before the next live stream, if that's the way that it goes. TMUSA says, what software do you use to run this live stream? So I'm actually not using any software. I have used OBS before, which is what a lot of like the gamers, like the big YouTuber game streamers use. It did not work real well. The video quality was not great. We had a lot of problems with it, so I only used it for one live stream, and then I went right back to what I use now. So I'm literally not running any software at all. I am filming on my phone, the same phone I use all day, every day for everything, and it's just through the YouTube app itself. So if you have the regular YouTube app, in the middle of the screen at the bottom, there's like a plus sign, and there's a thing that says go live, and I just go through that. So it's native to the YouTube platform. Kayak Crabber says, gotcha, just wasn't sure how much you would be able to collect / garnish. Thought you said she didn't work before. Yeah, I'm not, Kayak, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with her. You know, having had, you know, essentially no contact with her for a year now, I don't know if she's working or not. I'm really not sure what's going on. I mean, if she is working, she's been working as a server at a restaurant. So it's not like, you know, she makes a ton of money that I can just get access to. So, but like I said, really the way the law sees it is it doesn't actually matter if she can, like, it doesn't really matter if she can pay, she has to. So if it were the case that I find out she's still working as a server, and, you know, let's say she makes $2 an hour, because I think it's about $2 an hour you make for your hourly wage for a server. You know, let's say that I attach her wages, and I don't know how it works in West Virginia, but I know in Ohio, it's capped at 20% of the earnings. So if she's working for $2 an hour and I make, and I get 20% of that, and then based on the number of hours she works, like, it's nothing, right? Like, I'll have that money coming into me, but putting that up against $4 million, like, it's never going to pay it off. And I did also ask the judge for interest on the amount. So she'll owe me something like $38,000 a year just in interest, which, yeah, that's never going to be paid off. But again, that's not the point as far as the court sees it. It doesn't matter if you're able to put enough toward it to pay it down. It's that you have this judgment against you, and regardless, you have to pay it. So, I mean, and I don't want to get into a lot of more details on the collections here in this, well, you know, like publicly, but there are other things that I can seize. And also, there's a form of discovery that happens after judgment if money is owed, where I can essentially have the judge compel her to inform me of what all assets and bank accounts she has. Like, she has to reveal them. And then, because if she doesn't, she'll be held in contempt of court and go to jail. But, you know, it'll be a thing of like, she'll have to give me the list of all of the accounts, and then I can contact each of those companies with the judgment to collect on it. TMUSA says, could you use the regular YouTube app to invite people to join the live stream? I don't think there's a way to do that. because the thing is, I can't, so like I'm streaming through the regular YouTube app on my phone. So there's not a way for me to leave the screen and go do anything else in the app without ending the live stream. So I don't think I can do that. I don't think you guys have that option either. I actually was just watching a live stream before you guys hopped on. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Amber Heard appeal brief came in today, and there's a couple of the law tubers are going over it. I was actually listening to that. The DUI guy is who I was listening to. It does seem like I've been on those live streams a lot lately, and I don't remember seeing an option, even as like a viewer, to be able to go from that and then like, you know, invite people. I wish I could. Like, I wish there was a button I could press and it would send it out to all my subscribers. But there doesn't seem to be. The only thing I know is if you guys aren't, so if you're already subscribed, that's great. But there's also like the bell icon next to it. And I know that if you hit the bell icon, it's supposed to send you a notification whenever I post a video. And I think that includes lives. So I think that would be the closest that you could get to that. Okay, so Kayak Crabber says, what did you do for Thanksgiving? Well, I stayed here. It was kind of nice because my roommates were all gone. It's the first time, I've been here since April. It's the first time I've been here in the house alone. Just me and the dog. And I ended up ordering the holiday platter from Bob Evans because it was like the only thing open. I brought that home and I ate it with the dog. Gave her, you know, a lot of the pieces of meat and stuff. And then I watched something. Oh, I know what it was. I was watching Disenchanted, like the second Enchanted, while I was eating Thanksgiving dinner. And I know that sounds so depressing that I was like alone with the dog, but like compared to the alternative, like I was actually pretty happy. Last year at Thanksgiving with my mom, she was so mean to me, like the entire time. And based on how I interacted with her a few weeks ago, it's going to be even worse than that now. So I was very happy to not have to be dealing with my roommates, and also like to not have to be dealing with toxic family members. Sometimes it's better to just sit in your room alone and eat your fast food Thanksgiving dinner and just be thankful that you don't have to deal with any of that. So that's what I did. And I'm probably going to do about the same thing for Christmas because, you know, I'm in a town here where I only know my roommates. I hate them all, and they're all going to be gone anyway for the Christmas. So now Bob Evans is not open for Christmas, or at least they weren't last year. They used to be before COVID, but last year I ended up ordering IHOP. They were open for Christmas. I like their Colorado omelet, so I might get that for my Christmas dinner. I'm still not sure if I'm not gonna do another poll, but if you guys just want to answer in the comments, or even if you're watching this video later, since the last Sunday of December is Christmas, I don't want to stream on that day. Would you guys rather me do another stream like should I do the December live stream before Christmas or after Christmas? That's what I'm trying to ask. Just let me know in the comments about that. I'm not going to make a decision right now because I want to give people who watch this stream back later the opportunity to weigh in on that as well before I make a decision. Depending on what you guys answer with that, it may be another time that the stream is on a day other than Sunday. Yeah, okay, because a week after Christmas would be January 1st, right? Okay, so we don't want to do a New Year's live stream either. All right, well, you guys can let me know about that. That's really all the updates I have about the court stuff and about just what's going on with me this month. It's boring again because I'm mostly working, but at the same time, this is all about, well, it's about getting my life together, but a big part of that right now is personal finance. So I have to work a lot in order to make that happen. I know you guys want to see me accomplish those goals. It's just the actual in the field like process of that is pretty boring. TMUSS says, I'm so happy you have the dog, man's best friend. You should keep her even when you move. Well, I would like to, but she's not mine, and well, the old man roommate wants to take her, the old women roommates want to take her. Definitely one of the two will get her. I've also heard she's going back to the original person who had her. Oh, Virus says, I actually want to see the court stuff better. It is better than the finance stuff. Well, so basically what this channel is about is like about me and my life. And I post about just the stuff going on. And for this last year, court has been a big focus of what's going on. But I can make the channel be about finances and you guys can track my progress. But there's a couple reasons that I can't make much in the sense of legal stuff. One of those reasons is because she's very unhappy with me. And I know that she watches the channel and has people watch it for her and report back to her. So I don't want to say something on here that she's going to use to try to... It's not that she would come sue me, it's that she would try to take something I've said on here and say like, oh, well, you did something wrong. You said something wrong. So all this other stuff that I said shouldn't matter. That's the kind of attitude. So I have to be really careful that I don't say anything too specific about, what particularly is going on, because she would use it against me. And then like, I've had people complain that they don't like hearing about any of the court stuff and that, they've complained about the drama and they've complained about me talking about relationship stuff all the time. So, and I mean, I see what they're saying. Like, you come on, you have a, bad experience in a relationship and you come on here and you complain about this person all the time. I mean, I can see why somebody wouldn't want to hear that. People in general don't like to hear people talk about their problems. So I can't, so I have to just be really careful. Like, I don't mind updating you guys in general terms on the live streams about what's going on. Kayak Grabber is, I know you have been asked a bunch and said you were sitting on a video, but what is the passive income thing you bought? Oh, so I mean, I'll tell you this just because it came out in a previous live stream. But I bought land. It's been, God, like 4 years now, I think. And I haven't been able to do anything with it, just with everything going on in my life. But I'm still gonna make a big video about that. I even have the thumbnail made for it, but I just need my life to calm down a little bit so I have some time to work on that kind of stuff. But yeah, I bought land, and it's a very long, complicated story behind it, but I will explain all that in the video. Virus says, who cares if she's not happy with you? The ones who complained about court stuff are her sock accounts. I do not know. She has a YouTube account, and I certainly haven't seen any comments coming from that account here. But then if she's only watching and not commenting, I wouldn't see anything from her. I cannot say for a fact, or, you know, I have no idea. I have no idea if she's using other accounts to communicate with me on here. I just know that under oath in court, she did say that she watches the videos and that she has, I think it's multiple friends who watch them and report back to her, you know, about what I said about her. So, I mean, that's the thing, is I've never really said anything negative about her. That's not actually what she was upset about in court. But I try to be fair. Even if I'm upset with something at the time, I try to be fair and not talk badly about her or really anyone, but especially her. Oh yeah, the court stuff is part of your life. Yeah, and that's the point. Like I make videos about stuff that's going on in my life at the time. Kayak says, other than personal finance and the court stuff, what type of content would you want to make? Just off the top of my head right now, I have been watching a lot of DoorDash content, vlogs from drivers, and I'm doing that. Like, I'm doing that work. I might as well make videos about it. I enjoy watching that stuff, so I feel like other people would too. And maybe also my efforts through like personal finance of doing gig work, and just trying different kinds of gig work and my experiences in it. I also, like I said, kind of cleaning and organizing, doing the storage unit thing. I had my walkthroughs of my living in the office, kind of day-to-day. Well, it's kind of like an MTV Cribs kind of thing, but it was about me living in an office and how that setup was. I also did a house tour of the fraternity house, not the common areas, but just like my area I lived in. So that's still got to get edited and uploaded. I still have to make the video about why I left that job. And then, let's see what else. I've got, I don't know why I can't think of this right now. I always have so many ideas. Oh, and then TaskRabbit, like, kind of like the DoorDash stuff, but for TaskRabbit, because like nobody's making that kind of content. And then I would like to make my videos about the land. I'd like to make my video about my post office box, which, by the way, if you guys want to send me anything, it's Post Office Box 1505, Parkersburg, West Virginia. And what I'd like to do eventually is, once I get a bunch of stuff on there, I'll start a segment where I open the stuff you guys send me, you know, maybe not live, but like on camera, and then, so you can send something in to me, I open it, read it on camera, so it'll respond to the mail that way. And then, again, I want to keep doing my personal finance things, and as I get into a better position financially, I want to start getting into like my different business ventures, and partly maybe like day-to-day kind of vlogs about that stuff, but also like a sit-down video like this, but edited. So not live, but where I can talk about certain topics. I'd been wanting to make a video about how student loan forgiveness is going to affect me, and like specifically look at my loans and how it's going to be applied. TMUSA says, make sure not to overshare on the court stuff. I think you should keep it private until it's over. Yeah, I mean, I'm like walking like a real thin line with that, because like sometimes after a live stream, I'll be like, man, I probably said too much. But then I'll actually go back and watch it, and I'll be like, okay, no, what I said's not that bad. So I think I'm already kind of being cautious. Like if you've noticed in this stream, like I have told you guys like procedurally where things are, but I've been careful like not to give away like any strategy, and I'm not saying anything in particular about her, but you're right, like I do try to keep it pretty private. And I mean, I guess after it's over, like I can tell you guys how it ended up, not in like a gloating way, but just to keep you informed. And then of course when the money starts coming in with the budget reviews, yeah, I'm gonna have to say like, hey, this is my, I don't even know what you call that, but this is my income from the settlement or whatever. Virus says, you don't have to be specific. No one wants to know her name or anything. Yeah. Even when we were on great terms, like especially last year when we were living together and stuff, I never put her name out publicly. Never will. I want to protect her privacy, and I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to her. And even if you guys think it's just an anonymous person and I'm not saying a name, I also don't want to say anything bad about her. Even if it perhaps is true, I still don't want to talk about her that way. TMUSA, I want to hear about your active dating social life. Go on a date and report back. Super exciting that you bought land too. Well, so I'm not dating right now, but here's the thing. I will tell you that I don't know if I would say I'm open to dating. I am open to meeting people and getting to know people. I suppose I'm probably looking more for friendship, maybe right now. I don't know. But I would say I'm not really interested in dating anyone at all, including her. But I would be open to getting to know someone. It would be really difficult with my life setup, as much as I work and being spread between 2 states and 3 cities. That is going to make that really difficult. And I'm also not putting any effort into it at all. So, I can't really guarantee you there's going to be any kind of update on that, just because, yeah. And then like kind of just about like what we were talking about, if there does happen to be somebody I meet, I don't want to like put their information or their identity online either. So I guess if that happens, that's something I can figure out how to address at that time. Yeah, super exciting that you bought land too. I'll give you guys all the information about that when I finally make that video. There's like so much to it too that I'm basically making the video as an announcement saying like, hey, this is what I was talking about. I bought this land. And then like under that, I'm going to explain kind of like what the setup is with the land, how I think that I'm going to make money with it. And then there's going to be under that an even longer, very dramatic story involving my mom and a bunch of relatives, and it's a lot, but yeah. um, Kayak Crabber says, "Have you ever seen Mothman?" I've not seen the Mothman. I have been to the McClintock Wildlife Area, which is where he is supposed to have like been born or developed. It's the old TNT factory at the old military base north of Point Pleasant. And I've been to the Mothman Festival once. I don't know what Mothman was, but I think there's a reasonable possibility that that was a real thing, whatever it actually was. And no, like being from West Virginia, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen any of the other cryptids either. Virus says 1 year later he has lands and $4 million. Yeah, well, I was going to ask you how you know it's 1 year, but I guess I just said earlier it's been about a year since we've had much contact. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I've had the land technically for, I don't know. I think it was 2018 when it finally finalized, but my mom's lawyer was handling it and he took absolutely forever to put the transaction through. So I think it was about a year from the time I paid for it to the time I actually got the deed. But I do have land, and I'll talk to you guys in that video more so about like what I can do with it. But it is going to be an opportunity to make some money, and also possibly use as leverage to get funding for other things. And then then the $4 million. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. Yeah, we'll just see what happens about the court money. But I will tell you guys this. I don't think she has much of a chance in hell of winning. And in fact, if she doesn't respond, she has no chance. But after reviewing the arguments that I wrote for the complaint, I mean, if she fights it tooth and nail and we go through the whole process, yeah, there's just not really much hope. So it's pretty certain that I'm going to get that. Fire says to put a strip club. Well, I kind of doubt that that's going to get approved, especially where it is. I mean, it is a lot like right along a main road, but it's also kind of like in the country. So I have a feeling the neighbors wouldn't allow that. Oh, encourage her to get with Elon Musk, get her married and divorced, then get the $4 million. Well, I should just put this out as a public statement. My ex is not Amber Heard. Just to make that clear and on the record. I mean, I understand it's a very similar scenario, but it is not actually the same person. Wait, what? Oh, okay. We who are about to die salute you. I was like, what email are you talking about? You said, yeah, I do not have that email. So I got it, man. I want to say it's been within the last week. Surprisingly, it didn't go to my spam folder because for some reason, a lot of the Department of Education stuff just goes directly to spam. Did you get the email about the student loan pause? Because I think that comes from the same account. Because they extended the pause again. And I got that within a few days of getting the one saying that my application was approved. Oh, guys, yeah, I forgot to tell you the drink of the day. Nothing special, again. It's just the Hunter Orange Hydro Flask and Diet Pepsi. Oh, you know what would be cool? Is if we start doing the Mail with Mark segments where you guys mail me stuff to the P.O. box, you could send me like different drinks to try. I don't do alcohol, but you could send me like different pops and stuff from like different parts of the country. I know somebody mentioned the Ale 81. I like Moxie. I like Cheerwine, like regional stuff. Um, that would be really cool. And then I could have that as like the drink for that live stream. I'm actually looking up that email right now just to try to tell you what it was. Because I have the worst memory in the world. And I'm trying to figure out. Where in the world is it? See, I thought I had it here and now it's disappeared. Well, okay. Now I don't know where it went. It might help if I was on the right email account. So I think I may have gone to the wrong account. I'll find out. Oh, and if you guys have any experience with liquid caffeine, let me know about that. I'm possibly going to switch over so I can stop drinking pop all the time. It's bad for my teeth. Also, let me know, is there anybody in the stream or in the comments watching this video later that is from Alabama, Birmingham area, if possible? There's something I really want. And I would definitely send you money to get it for me. There's like a regional pop that I haven't had for a couple of years now that I found down there that I love. It's called Grappico. I gotta have the diet version because I don't do sugar, but it's purple drink, but it's so good. And it's like, I can't get it. You can buy it online, but it's like $25. It would be cheaper to have somebody buy it there and ship it. I don't even know if you can get it outside of Alabama because I've never seen it anywhere else. But even like Walmart and the normal places have it just down in that area. All right, I got my other email address up here. I'm looking for it. Okay, so here's the one saying, it was on November 23rd that I got the one saying the student loan payment pause has been extended. And the return address should just be U.S. Department of Education. Maybe. told you guys this is going to take forever to load. Oh, hey guys, yeah, also I wanted to show you this. I know we talked last week or last month about the hair situation. This is completely out of control. I'm just going to get my hair cut this month. It is just curling like crazy. And it's so thick up here. I don't know if you can tell, but I have not had my hair cut in so many months now. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I got this on November 23rd, and it comes from, like, the return address on it says Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona. And I'll just read it to you. So the title of the email is, "Your student loan debt relief application has been approved." And then it says, "From Secretary Cardona, lawsuits are preventing the U.S. Department of Education from implementing its one-time student loan debt relief program. Mark, this email provides you with an update on the one-time student loan debt relief plan that President Biden and I announced on August 24th. We received your application or have the income information to process you for loan relief. You do not need to take any further action at this time." So that's where I'm saying, because I didn't apply, they already have my information on file. And just so you can tell like who this is, it's noreply@studentaid.gov is the email address that it came from. Then it goes on to talk about the lawsuits, but it just says that they're going to keep fighting them in court. So that's basically it. Oh, okay. Hey, Virus, you said do a video about your roommates and why you hate them. I absolutely will. So if you want to see a preview of what that's going to look like, I have a video on my channel called Roommate Rant. It's from 2014, but it's the same dude I live with now, because it was a different house, same town though, and that's how I ended up renting from him a second time, was because he is still renting rooms out. But yeah, those were the problems I had with him before. But after I get out of this place, I'm absolutely gonna make a video about everything that's been going on in here. Just a complete rant about the ridiculousness of it all. And then Kayak Crabber says, "Ever burn a couch?" All right, so I gotta know, like, you're asking me West Virginia based questions. So are you from there, or you just know about it? For anybody outside of this area, the Mothman is a cryptid that lives in West Virginia, and burning a couch is a favorite pastime of West Virginians. Specifically, I would say more in Morgantown, but I lived in Morgantown twice before. Oh, Pennsylvania. Okay. So, all right. Personally, I have never burnt a couch, no. But I did live on campus at WVU until April of this year. So there were ones apparently burnt right outside my window, because like right outside my window and then down one level was where our fire pit was. So there were like bonfires and stuff there. And I definitely woke up in the morning to like burnt couches, what was left of them. Yeah. So no, I've never participated in that. No, I can't say I have. Morgantown's a different world, though. I can in no way say that I am from a civilized part of West Virginia, but probably more so than there. We Who Are About to Die salute you says the only problem with your situation would be health insurance. I think that is the only reason people would get a full-time job nowadays. Yeah, that is something I still need to figure out. I mean, I've been paying for everything myself. Um, Ideally, yes, getting health insurance. Um, my situation keeps changing, so who knows what's going to end up happening. Um, I will probably just have to get to a financial point where I have all my basics covered, and then I can look into signing up on like healthcare.gov for a plan. Um, yeah, I would say probably. Um, Long term, I'll have to figure that out. But that's also going to mean that I'm going to have to start actually going to the doctor for things. Just being Appalachian, like, that's not in my culture. I haven't had a checkup since 2000. So, state government job is sort of like that 37.5-hour weeks, flex schedule 4 days a week. Huh. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's better than a regular, 40-hour strict 9 to 5 job. I will tell you guys, if at some point in the future I'm not fighting in court over a bunch of stuff, it would make it easier to get a full-time job. I need that flexibility right now. And once this stuff's over, maybe I won't need it as much. But I don't know, we'll see what my life is like at that point. Maybe by then, I'll be able to be totally self-employed and I won't have to worry about that. But anyway, guys, what time is it? 7:30. So we're 2.5 hours in. I see there's still a ton of people on here. 23 people, that's great. I'm sure you guys can tell I am getting tired. I had a really long weekend because when I go up there, I work 14 or 16 hours a day to make as much money as possible, then go sleep in my car at the truck stop. Then I literally get up, take a shower at the truck stop, and then work all day again. And I do that 3 days in a row. So I just got back at like 2 this morning. And then I got a good full night's sleep, but after doing that, it takes at least a couple of days to kind of recuperate. So I think I'm gonna cut this short here, and then I'm gonna go do some stuff to get my life together. If you guys would, let me know in the comments after this video is uploaded what you would like to do for next month, as far as should the stream be before Christmas or after Christmas, and whether it would be better to do streams on Sundays still, or if we should do them a different day, like a work week day, and if later in the evening would be better, like 5 p.m. or even later. I'm cool with that too. But just let me know. I'd like to get some thoughts from a bunch of different people and kind of see what the consensus is. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. This next month, I'm gonna be just kind of waiting and seeing what happens with the court stuff. I have my plan either way, depending on how that goes. And other than that, I'm just gonna be working all the time to get this stuff caught up. And that way I can get kind of a jump start on the 2023 financial goal stuff. And I will try, I can't promise anything, but I will try to get some content made, and or even just get some of the stuff edited that I already have made, and get something up for you. But yeah, let me see how getting this stuff paid off goes, and then I'll see about getting some of this stuff edited. Other than that, depending on what you guys say about when you want to do the next stream, I will I'll take all that into consideration, and then we'll do this again sometime toward the end of December, either before or after Christmas. And I don't see any more comments, so I will see you guys then.